force anybody too much, but I just wanted to see where we are from. So we got Florida, California, mostly California, I'm sure. And anybody else that didn't answer up, where are you calling in from? Where are you, I should say?
Los Angeles.
Yeah, everybody. Los Angeles,
I got baby.
Okay, welcome. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and meet the line, and we're going to kick it off in about 30 seconds. I just want to be fair to everybody. We did say 7 o'clock. It's not quite 7, and we're going to fight through it. Also, I'll give you some of the things that make this go for everyone, help you at the same time understand what we're going to do. In the spirit of speed, if you have a question, just unmute yourself and ask it as I go through it, or you can wait till the end. We are going to have a Q&A session. But I'm not going to be reading too many of the text questions till the end because they take too long to come out of the PowerPoint. And so I think it's fair to say that we've got those that are here that are going to be here. So let's go ahead and knock it out. It is, as you know, being recorded. So if you want to review this later on, just ask whoever invited you on the webinar for a copy of it, the link, and we're going to host it on YouTube. It's private. So what that means is that you can't search for it. You have to have the link, which we will gladly give you. If you want to review anything, so don't worry about taking notes. You're not going to need to do that. So we're going to go ahead and get going here in about 5 seconds. So I think it's fair to say it's
No, okay.
they're all my witnesses here.
I'm good, thank you.
We went ahead and waited it till 6 o'clock. So let's go ahead and knock it out. And here we go. Good evening, everybody. It's Tom here, and it's truly an honor to be with you here. Whether you're a current consultant with Power or maybe you're just an invited distinguished guest, I thank you for your time. I promise not to take too much of your time, but at the same time, I do want to share something that I believe that for the right person at the right time, there's no better opportunity. When I say the right time, the time has to be right on your part, but also with all that's going on in the economy, and you'll see what I mean as I get further down the presentation. So thank you all for being here on time. Also, in the spirit of keeping this short, I'm not going to answer questions that are sent via chat, so either unmute yourself or wait till the end when I actually go ahead and open up the microphone to anyone that might have a question at that time. So here we go. Tonight's presentation revolves around an actual revolution that's taking place in the United States, and technically it's taking place throughout the entire world, which we'll cover here in just 1 second, but the opportunity is limited at this time to the United States. And it shows you how you can cash in on the solar revolution. And it really is a revolution. We've never had so many people looking for two main things. On one side, they're looking for value. They're looking for ways to reduce their bills. Now, I don't know about you, but I've had an electricity bill my entire life, and those bills that we will continue to have for the rest of our lives. So it's not like we're looking for somebody with luxury, but we're talking rather about the actual necessity that is represented with electricity. So everybody has a bill, has always had it, and will always have it. So I think you will also agree that a lot of the people that have these bills understand that these bills continue to go up year after year after year for a lot of different reasons, including wildfires. I live in Southern California, and so I'm getting to pay basically for a lot of the mitigation efforts that are taking place throughout the state of California just because I'm on the power grid that has caused a lot of these actual fires as well. As a matter of fact, every October, Southern California Edison, they go ahead and publish the rates for the coming year. And this past year, they went up 9%. The year before that, they went up 11%. And so as these rates continue to go up and up and up, it's squeezing people like never before. And so for me, from a business perspective, just to give you a little background, I come primarily from the mortgage industry, life insurance industry, not from the solar industry. I kind of got here by accident because when I saw this, it just simply made sense. And so I hope you have an open mind and take some of these things into consideration as you determine whether you really want to know more or even be part of this opportunity as well. One of the top questions that everybody has is, why is electricity so high, and why does it continue to go up year after year? I gave you a few reasons. You can basically understand that there's many, many more that point towards the direction that it's not going to get any better anytime soon. On the flip side, we do have the environmental impact that our dirty energy is literally choking the life and the health out of people and of course, the planet. So if I was to ask you from a business perspective, how many homeowners do you know that would like to reduce their electricity bill by, let's just say half, or in some cases even more, without selling, without begging, by just at the same time giving them the opportunity to do what's right for the environment while they help themselves? I told you 9% is what the last rate hike was for Edison customers. Yeah, but guess what? Their incomes didn't go up 9%. Year before that, it went up 11%. Their incomes didn't go up 11%. And as a matter of fact, the cost of living is going up a lot higher than what we are getting paid and what we're making. And so again, it's a very noble thing here. It's not just about you making money, but what a better way for you to make very good money while helping the environment, and most importantly, helping your customers. Now, this is especially true if you're a real estate agent, loan officer, broker, and so on, because as we all know, interest rates are going up. And the market has started to cool off very, very quickly, and the official first rate hike hasn't even happened. The Fed said that they're going to raise interest rates at least 3 times this year. We know it's going to happen. We know what it's going to do to the market. So a lot of people in the industry, and all industries, are looking for a way to maintain their income because our expenses are fixed, but our income in many cases is not. And that's where this company comes in. I'm talking about a company by the name of Power. Power just celebrated installing their 10,000 installer system, which is pretty cool. They've installed a lot more since then. But we're talking about a company that's been around for many years and knows exactly what it is that they're doing, but most importantly, how to grow the whole operation by helping people like yourself as consultants with the firm. Back in 2020, this company was named number 938 in the Inc. 5000 fastest growing private companies in America, which is pretty impressive when you can consider how many companies there are. And in 2021, they made the list again, but they made it up to number 61. And what's also super impressive, in my opinion, is that they are the only solar company on the list at all. And they're continuing to grow by leaps and bounds because they're following plays from other companies, this expansive growth. On the real estate side, there's a company called EXP that they're doing the exact same thing EXP did, which is why they are growing so fast as well. Now, why is this happening? A couple of things. I'm going to share with you my personal story. About 5 years ago, I decided to look into solar. I actually had 3-4 different companies come to my home, give me quotes, the whole 9 yards. But one of the things I didn't like is that they wanted $4,000 to $6,000 in the form of a down payment. And I just felt that I was prepaying my energy, if you would. That's really what I felt. I didn't feel that I was getting a bang for my buck, so I didn't move forward. Now, we're talking about the opportunity for people to go solar with zero down. And not just zero down, I'm talking about a complete zero out of pocket. So we are literally replacing one bill, which is their, let's just say, electricity bill, by their new bill, if they decide to finance, which is their loan on their solar system. And so the question is, which one's better? Which one's lower? Which one gives them more value? So if you don't know how to sell, you don't want to sell, you're in the right place, because here we do absolutely no selling, begging, or bugging. It's just simply based on information, based on their specific needs. So zero down is a huge factor in why this company and the industry as a whole is exploding, but no company out there is growing like this firm that you see here, which is, of course, Power. Now, keep in mind just the scope of the opportunity. Currently, there's 130 million homes in the United States that are plugged into the power grid, or we refer to it as dirty energy. We're burning coal, we're burning natural gas, we're burning something to turn the turbines, if you would, to generate the electricity, which we all use. Out of the 130 million in the United States, 90 million qualify for zero down. And of those 90 million that qualify for zero down, only 3 have done it. That means there's 87 million people out there who qualify for what we offer. They just don't know about it. Our company spends $0 on advertising, and it's all dependent upon, of course, people like you and I as consultants spreading the word. So why are so many people going solar? Well, a couple of reasons are here. Number one is zero down. Because if I'm going solar, zero down, I just want to know what my new payment's going to be. If my new permanent payment is literally lower than my utility bill that continues to go up, I'm in. Very, very simple. So that's a big, big driver. Zero down, save money. What if we can cut your clients' energy costs by 5, 40, 60% every month. That locks in the actual cost of electricity for people when it continues to go up year after year after year. Another big factor that I was referring to earlier with the changing economy is the predictability of payments. Now, my payment, like I told you, my average payment, they told me is, and you'll see it here in just 1 second, they said it was something like $340, I don't know, whatever it is. However, that's not true. That's average. In the summertime, out here in Ontario, the Inland Empire, it gets a little toasty. And my bill goes up to $550 to $600, not only because of the AC use day and night, but I have 2 electric cars. So I don't have a gasoline bill, which is good because I like electricity a lot more than gas. But on top of that, those cars obviously have to be charged. So on and on, I'll show you what I'm doing right now. So that. Another thing that's really cool is the 30-year bumper-to-bumper worry-free warranty. And so what does that mean? That means that for the next, literally, 30 years, our clients have the peace of mind knowing that anything goes wrong with the components, with the panels, with the insulation, with the roof, for 30 years, we will go out there and either fix it or replace it. No questions asked, with a 0 deductible. It's called peace of mind. Now, on top of that, there's a federal tax credit. It ends this year. This is the last year for a 26% federal tax credit. It's supposed to go down to 22 next year. And so simply what that means is that whatever the cost of your system is, 26% of that as an incentive to go solar, the federal government will give you a hard tax credit, meaning that 26% of the cost comes right back to your pocket when you do your taxes, which is incredible. And I'm not talking about a deduction. This is a credit that goes right to you as well, which is incredible. Energy independence, home value increase is a big deal for especially real homeowners, of course, as a whole, for the simple fact that your home is going to be worth more money than without it, for the simple fact that now you have an actual asset on your roof that's creating something, unlike a pool. I have a pool as well, so that's why I use a lot of electricity, but half the people don't like pools, half the people do. And on top of that, it's going to cost you. Just having a pool is expensive to clean, to maintain. The pump has to run all day and so on, whereas with a solar system, it's generating electricity. It's literally like installing a gas pump, if you would, in your driveway. It's something that's going to help you. The environmental impact, incredibly good, and you leave a legacy behind of sustainability. Now, these are the states in which we operate right now. We're increasing a few more as we go, but the main states are already in, whether it be Texas, California, Florida, and so on, they're in. And here's where my story begins and where it's going to end, to be honest with you, because I'm not here to give you some generic PowerPoint. This is my bill, and as you can see on the upper right-hand corner, November 1st of 2021, $341. The month before that was $418. And if you go back to September, July, June, the summer months, basically, then we're talking, of course, around $600 a month. And so that's why I keep looking for solar. That's why I was looking into it 5 years ago, but I just didn't want to give up a lot of money down. And so anyways, what ended up happening, they offered me a proposal, which is really what you would do with your clients. Offer them a free solar savings report to show them how much they could save by going solar. All they asked for was my electricity bill. I gave it to them. They got together with me via Zoom. And this is my actual presentation that not only converted me into becoming a client, but also into becoming a consultant as well. And so as you can see here, this is my name, my home address, and there's a picture of my house. They actually showed me what the panels would look like, where they would go, and the system that I need based on my usage, which again, I use a lot of electricity. It's a 13.2 kilowatt system that you see there on the lower center right hand of the screen. And this system that they're installing is going to generate 20,886 kilowatt hours of power. And I'll show you what that means in just 1 second. But in a nutshell, here's what got me right here. And so what you see here right now are two things. First of all, you see the up and down graphs, if you would. That shows you the electricity that I used in the last 12 months. This comes directly from my electricity bill, not some guess or estimate that the company put together. This is factual. And so as you can see, I'm using more power, of course, in the summer months, but you also see the yellow line that goes up and down at the top, and that is the production that my panels are going to be generating. And this brings me to something called net metering. So as you can see, for most of the year, I'm making more electricity than I'm actually using. And so what happens during those times when I'm generating or producing more electricity than I'm using, my meter spins backwards, and the excess or extra electricity that I'm not using, it goes back to the power grid, back to the electric company, but Edison in my particular case, and they sell it. And for that, they give me a credit, money, basically. They give me credit. And so what that allows you to do at this point is to bank the credits when you're using or when you're not using all the power you're generating. But if you notice, on the opposite sides of the line, there are some months in the winter when I'm actually using more electricity than I'm generating. Why? Because the sun is at an angle. The sun is not the same in the winter as it is in the summer. And so I'm drawing from those credits at that point. And this is what's called net metering. Now, net metering is something that we are in something called net metering 2.0 right now. It already got revamped one time. They're trying to revamp it a third. But if you have your system installed before, I believe the end of the day or something like that, you get grandfathered into this net metering 2.0, which is a lot better and more advantageous for the client than the 3.0 that's coming down the pike. Now, how do they know how the weather is going to be? Well, they base it on 30 years of weather data. So it's not just guessing. That everything that I'm showing you right here is based on facts. And so the system that I'm getting is a pretty big system. And if you notice, 121% solar offset means I'm not only going to be generating the amount of power that I'm using, but I'm going to go over by about 21% because I always want to have that credit that we were talking about earlier. And that's pretty cool. That's also important if you decide to go get an electric car because the rates to charge electric cars are cheaper at night. So you can literally go ahead and generate power all day long, save the higher rates from the daytime, charge at night when it's cheaper, and take the cost from the credits that your panels generated for you, which is a no-brainer. And so on the left-hand side, you see where my bill is on average $313, even though it goes up to $600 in the summer. My new payment for my solar system will be $157 a month. And here's the best part. The $157 you see on the right-hand side is fixed for 25 years. The bill of $313 that you saw yourself for $418, that is not fixed. Not only does it go up in the spring and into the summer, but they raise it. They've been raising it 9% last year, 11% the year before that, and so on, and so on, and so on. So when it comes to the cost of electricity, you don't have to be a solar expert. You can literally go ahead and just focus on nothing more than the actual cost of your electricity. So if you look on the lower left-hand corner with Edison, which is who I have right now, my current cost per kilowatt hour, which is kind of like comparing a cost per gallon of gasoline, basically, my cost per kilowatt hour right now is almost 22 cents a kilowatt hour with Southern California Edison. And that's because it's actually cheaper than my neighbors because I'm on the electric car rate. I get a bonus. Otherwise, it will be higher. If you look on the right-hand side, and on the right-hand side, you will find the actual solar payment of $157. My new cost of electricity is going down to less than 10 cents a kilowatt hour. So even if you're not a solar expert or electricity expert, just the fact that the cost per kilowatt hour goes down by almost half means my bill is going down by almost half. And so the question that I would ask you, if this was your proposal, would you rather keep the $313 bill that's going to go on average 4 to 8% a year? Or would you rather take the $157 a month bill that's going to be fixed for 25 years? And at the end of the 25 years, it's 100% free. The electricity will be 100% free at that point because the loan is paid off. Now, keep in mind that you will always have what's called a connection fee. A connection fee is just the mere fact that you're connected to the grid. Right now, it's $12 for Edison. You're still going to have a $12 bill every single month because you have to have it in order to be connected to the grid. Now, remember, if you remember correctly, I told you about the incentive, the 26% federal tax credit. Well, I'm receiving it. And for me, it's $12,836. And I still get to keep a $157 a month bill for the next, literally 25 years. So in that 25-year period that you see in front of you, my savings total up to $103,000 instead of having stayed with my power utility company. I mean, I remember when they presented this to me, the last thing I told the person who presented it to me was, okay, well, that sounds really, really good. Because I told my wife, if they can just give us a fixed payment of $300, I'll do it. And they surprised me with $157. And I told the guy, the last thing I told him was, okay, well, thank you so much for the info. We'll go ahead and think about it. And my wife, while we were still in the Zoom meeting, looked at me and said, what is there to think about? And she was right. It's just that simple, as you can see there on the screen. Now, let's talk about money. You will invest maybe an hour in consulting with your client. You will not invest any time beyond that outside of a phone call to make sure that everything's on track. A site survey will be done by people that do that for a living. The installation is done by professional electricians that do nothing but solar. And so your job is literally maybe 2 to 4 hours if you're slow, and that's it. Most of the time will be done via Zoom. The average commission nationwide for what you just saw somebody did with me is $7,000. $7,000 is a commission that's comparable to real estate, mortgages, and other places that require a very, very complicated, time-consuming, and expensive license. And I'll show you what it takes to do this here in just 1 second. Now, when you do come on board with us, your first 3 sales have to be done with a mentor. A mentor is somebody who will teach you the ropes. They will do all the explaining. They will do all the heavy lifting. You won't do a thing other than observe and learn. Literally, that's what you're going to get paid to do. Now, for their time and their expertise, you're going to split your first 3 commissions 50-50 with the actual mentor. So I told you that the average commission is $7,000. In California, guess what? It's higher. But I'll leave it at the $7,000. So you come on board with us, you do your first 3 sales with the mentor, you're going to split it 50-50. So that means you're going to make $3,500 a sale. So for those 3 sales I just shared with you, you're going to make $10,500. And what you were doing, it was learning. That's really what you were doing. Now, you go ahead and continue beyond that with 2 sales on your own. Now, because you've completed the first 3 training sales, you keep 100% of the commission. So that means you're going to make $7,000 a sale times 2. That's $14,000, or a total of $24,500, literally within your first 45 days if you follow our plan. We have one of our brand new, and I do mean brand new, consultants that just came on board 2 weeks ago. She conducted her first proposal, which is the one that they did for me. She did her first one last Wednesday. They came on board. They signed their loan docs immediately, electronically. So it's all DocuSign on Wednesday. They had the actual site inspection where they got to come look at the roof, make sure it's good to go to support the weight of the system, whatever. They did that 2 days ago, and the installation is already tomorrow. 7 days, even though we tell our clients it'll be probably around 60 days because we got to pull city permits. No, we don't do it. The company does it. But incredible amount of how quickly it was done. So when I say 45 days to do this, you can knock it out sooner if you really, really want to. Now, we do have another component, allows you to work like a broker if you want to. If all you want to do is make money with your own pen, helping people go solar as you do whatever it is you do full time, bless your heart. But if you're like most people, you know somebody who would like to get paid what they're worth. And so for that, we pay you. And so if you refer somebody to become a consultant, now you're not going to be their mentor or anything like that. You're just going to refer them to the platform. You don't even know when the sale took place, but every time they make a sale, you're going to get paid $600. And so if you've got 5 consultants that are only doing 1 sale a month, that's an extra $3,000 a month or $36,000 a year passively if you want to do that. If you don't, and all you want to do is simply help people go solar, spend 2 hours of your, 2 to 3 hours of your time and get paid super good money, here's what it looks like, and we're going to wrap it up. Let's just say I wouldn't call it slow, but let's just say you're a spare timer. You're a full-time teacher, police officer, doctor, broker, or loan originator. I don't know. You have a full-time gig. Beautiful. And so you're only going to do this on a spare time basis. If you want to go out there and close just 3 deals a month, that's about, call it 9 hours a month. So 3 deals a month, you would be paid $21,000 every month that you did that, or over $250,000, just over $250,000 a year, if you maintain that pace for literally a 12-month period, which is simply incredible. Now you might say, well, I don't know if I have 2-3 hours a week or what have. Okay, great. Let's just say you only do 2 sales a month. Do 2 sales a month at $14,000 a month, or $168,000 a year on a spare time basis. And I emphasize spare time. You still have your job, you still have your business, you're still doing whatever it is that you currently do. But if you don't see yourself for whatever reason doing, let's just say 2, I mean, for God's sake, I just hope you can see yourself doing 1. And if you do just 1, that's $7,000 a month, or $84,000 a year if you maintain that pace. Now we got people that are doing 4, 5, 6 a month, let alone just 1. But I'm not promising you anything, because ultimately this is going to be based on your efforts. And this is where it gets fun. I've been working in this type of industry, leadership, not solar, but mortgages, real estate, and everything for literally over 20 years. And I can promise you that if you do come on board and you're willing to do your part, we will put together a plan, and I will get involved and personally put a plan together of attack and marketing for you that will revolve around what you currently do. As long as you're willing to do what it takes, you can make the 1, 2, or 3 sales a month, or even more. We've got many people here on this call that are already consultants that have just joined us under 30 days that already have banked or made money based on the production that's in the pipeline right now. Usually the delay is waiting for the installation to take place. It's averaging around 30 days right now for the people that I'm working with. But still, where can you go get that kind of money? Helping people, helping the environment, and also, most importantly, helping yourself as well. This company is privately owned and will be going public. I mean, you can only imagine what the company is going to be worth. And if you decide to come on board, the company will actually give you options in the company that you can later turn to stock when it goes public, just for doing what you're going to do anyways. When you have your first installation, they give you 25 options. When somebody you brought on board to the platform has their first installation, you get 12 options. And if you meet the performance goals that you see there, 25 installs get you 250 options, 50 installs, 1,250 options, and so on. It's a great way for you not only to make great money today, but build wealth for the future as well. And so what is this job, business, whatever you want to call it, venture, what does it involve? It involves this. You just putting together a list of people that either A, are homeowners that would like to explore their opportunity to go solar to dramatically reduce their electricity bill, or B, people looking to get paid what they're worth without having to quit what they currently do. Fill this list out with names, invite them, I present to them, I talk to them, I go ahead and answer the questions, do the heavy lifting, but you'll get all the benefits from that as well. And most importantly, here's what you really do. Your job is to literally collect bills. And not just the electricity bill, like you see the front page right there, but like this one. This is my bill. And as you can see here, the graph near the bottom shows the actual historical usage of electricity that was used for my proposal. And so as long as you know how to collect this thing, you're in business. That's literally all you will have to do to be successful as a consultant with Power Solar as well. We have training, and so much training that literally will bore you. I mean, if you want to be on a training call once a day, you can do it. If you want to do it once a week or once a month, we don't care. We can give you as much training as it relates to every aspect of the business to ensure your success, as long as you're willing to do what it takes. And so again, the presence or the mere platform that we bring to the table is one where you are literally splitting the net revenue of cost over goods. That's what makes us unique. We can go out there and compete and beat the major solar companies out there, because the final pricing will be determined by you. You as a consultant will have the final say in how much you're going to charge somebody. And if you're not competitive, you're not going to do well. It's very simple. So we have to be competitive, but we also have to be fair. And in the process of being fair, commissions average $7,000 to the consultants. Now, there is a cost involved, or investment as I refer to it. There's a one-time $99 onboarding fee, which brings you on board and gets you going with everything you need to become successful. And there's also a monthly fee of just $49 that gets you all the websites you see on the screen right now that will help you get clients, that will help you recruit people if that's what you want to do. And many of these websites are in Spanish. So all you have to do to generate your sales is literally copy the link that's embedded with your code, text it to them or email it to them, and when they open up the website and become clients, you're going to get credit for that as well. It's very, very simple. Also, if you're not ready to quite come on board and pay to join us, we do have a special position called ambassador. You come on board with us as an ambassador, and there's nothing to join. You do have to join, but there's nothing to pay. There's no fee and any of that stuff. But whenever you refer somebody to us, we're going to pay you $1,000 when that system is installed on their roof. $1,000. And so as you generate more and more clients, tell your clients, if you want to pay for your system earlier, send me referrals, become an ambassador. It costs you nothing. But every time you send somebody my way, which you're probably going to do anyways, we'll pay you $1,000 every time we install the solar. And you can pay off your system in just a few short years, because that's what they want to do. Or they can just keep the money, of course, and spend it. What I'm going to do at this time, I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording, and I'm going to go ahead and ask or allow you to ask any questions you might have in regards to anything. And now I'm going to go back into the chat and read any questions that you might have typed in earlier. I wasn't ignoring you, but like I said at the beginning, I was going to read them during the presentation.